Darkness swirls at the center of a world-renowned dance company, one that will engulf the troupe's artistic director, an ambitious young dancer, and a grieving psychotherapist. Some will succumb to the nightmare, others will finally wake up. All right, yes, we are going to finally be talking about the Suspiria remake. This is only the second time I watched it. I watched it once a couple months ago. I was supposed to be on a Ghouls Night Out with Gory B Movie and talking about this, but for personal reasons stuff fell through. No big deal, but I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I was very overwhelmed the first time I saw this movie, and upon I wasn't really sure if I liked it, but I'm more sure of my feelings on the movie now on the second watch. So I'm almost kind of glad. I love being on Ghouls Night Out, but I'm almost kind of glad that that particular stream didn't happen, because I would have been an incoherent mess. It's directed by Luca Guadagnino. I'm saying it wrong no matter what, so I'm just gonna stop trying. Probably saying something controversial here. What else is new? But I kind of like that it's a departure from the original. For me, it followed my own personal criteria for a good remake. Obviously, everybody's opinions are different, so what makes a good remake for me is not necessarily gonna make a good remake for somebody else. But really quickly, my real only criteria for a good remake is to stay true to the heart of the original, like a particular theme or message or something like that, but update it for a modern audience. Because a lot of times when we're getting these remakes, it's like 20, 30, 40 years on, and the stuff going on in the world, especially regarding witchcraft and pagan religions, is vastly different today than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 100 years ago. And that's not just for witch movies, it's for any remake. The stuff going on at the time is going to be vastly different to what's going on today. So I feel like you have to update it for a modern audience, at least for me. And I'm also probably a little biased towards this because I don't really like giallo horror movies all that much. I've said that so many times and I get hate for it so often, which is why I barely talk about it. But if it helps anything, I gave the original film a 5 out of 5. I love the original Suspiria, so that's my one exception to giallo horror movies. I love the changes that they made. Particularly, my most favorite change is the change from ballet to modern dance, interpretive dance, contemporary. I don't know what you'd call it because I don't know anything about dancing. I barely have any rhythm. I thought it was really, a really nice reflection of witchcraft in this movie, because the whole dance company is supposed to be run by this coven of witches, right? And I like how they incorporate that into the dance. It's not just a dance studio, and it's not, the dance studio is not just a cover up, it's incorporated into the witchcraft. That scene where Susie is performing, and in another room underneath the school somewhere, Olga is being contorted along with the dance that Susie is doing, is a beautiful and terrifying visual representation of a spell that the teachers were casting through Susie. And I thought that was, I don't know, I just love the representation. It was horrifying and beautiful. It was beautifully horrifying. I also really loved the maiden mother crone thing going on. Another quick little pagan witchy lesson. The goddess, the female deity that a lot of some witches, Wiccans, pagans worship. There is usually there's 3 aspects to it: the maiden, the mother, and the crown, which is just different generations, obviously. So we have this interesting conflict going on with the crone aspect, who is Marcos, who is claiming to be Mother Suspiriorum and wants to be reborn through Susie, who is obviously the maiden aspect in this. Susie bonds with and learns all she can from the mother aspect, which is Blanc. An interesting witchy interpretation of like the older generation wanting to continue to like rule the world and be in power, but obviously like as they age physically and mentally they can't anymore, so they're trying to be reborn through the younger generation, and the younger generation represented by Susie is like, oh hell no. For her to be able to take power over Marcus, Susie has to do something completely radical, which is allow Mother Suspiriorum to be reborn through her. And it's a badass, crazy, mind-blowing, violent, gory, bloody scene at the end when that happens. So when I first saw the movie, I thought it was a bit of like a sensory overload. Like there was just a lot going on, a lot of like stuff that like my brain was just not ready to process. But I appreciated it much more this time around, and I know I'm usually more of a casual reviewer, but this movie really speaks to me, I guess, and I just felt like I wanted to get more analytical with it. I give this a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty great. On IMDb it has a 6.8 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes it has a 66% critic score and audience score, which is really interesting. And on Letterboxd it has a 3.7 out of 5. So if you've seen the remake of Suspiria, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it, especially how it stacks up to the original for you. Advertising this on every video this week. This coming Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is my now annual pumpkin carving live stream. I'll link to last year's, the first one, if you want to check it out. If you haven't yet, it was a super fun time, and we're gonna do it again this year. So I think we're gonna watch Trick or Treat. Come join us, it's gonna be super fun, and I'm gonna carve a pumpkin for you guys. Yeah, Witch Week is not over yet, so I'll see you guys tomorrow with another new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye. This video is brought to you by all these lovely creepy patron peeps that you see listed here. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep yourself, you can check out that link in the description. There's a whole bunch of fun links in the description, so you can follow me on all my social media, Goodreads, Letterboxd, all that good stuff. So make sure you check out the description box. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye.